Good afternoon. My name is Robb Goff, and I'm here to talk to you about why schools need a digital media education. Okay, first, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. Okay, again, my name is Robb Goff. I'm a teacher at Kearney High School, where I've been teaching for 26 years total. English, I've taught everything from English 9 through senior English. I have been a speech coach, a speech teacher. I've been a theater director, a teacher, a yearbook advisor, and for the last 10 years, I've worked in media productions. How this class started off was, I got my master's degree in instructional technology and with emphasis on media and video production. And later on, it kind of progressed, and we started at one class, and later it kind of progressed to a full program of study. So actually, I'm really lucky that that's all I do anymore is I just teach media productions. But also you see there, the four biggest influences in my life, my family. I have two sons in college, my beautiful wife, and I have a daughter who's a sophomore. And this year we decided to do something completely crazy is we add another member to our family. So thus Rory, our first ever dog, a French bulldog, joined us. Okay. So let's get into it. And one of the first things I want to talk about is why do we teach digital media and why is it important? Okay. That's like every lesson I always want to talk about to my students. When I taught English, I had to explain to students, why do we study Shakespeare? And I think that's important to explain it on why we're creating a digital media program. So what I want you to do is while you're looking at the screen here, I want you to take your phone out. I want you to look at your screens. And more importantly, to go for where you look at your app usage. You go to settings on your smartphone and you look at how long you've been on your phone. Okay, if you don't know how to do that, you can look that up. But look at it. How long, or think about it also as how long we look at our screens. How about on your smartphone? Screens like computers, smartphone. And how many times do you do a pickup a day? Now, some of you guys may have never heard of a pickup. A pickup is you get a notification on your phone, you see it pop up, you look it up, and you look at it. That's a pickup. Your phone records those. Okay, so think about it. How long do you think you look at a screen, computer, including your computers? How long do you look at a smartphone? And how many pickups? You have a couple more seconds. All right. Now, of course, there's a lot of other research out there, but the ones I've found so far says that you look at your screens a little over 7 hours a day. Believe it, 7 hours a day we're looking at a screen. Your smartphone, the average adult, 3.5 to 4. Students, even more than that. Pickups, almost 100 a day. Okay, so what does this mean? Well, according to Theodore Kratz, who's a chief executive officer at App Annie, smartphone users spend 3.8 trillion hours on a mobile device in 2021. We don't have 2022 data yet. And consumers have spent 170 billion on apps, which is up 19% from last year. Downloads continue growing at 5% over year to have reached $230 billion or 230 billion downloads. Okay. Again, Kratz said this: mobile is the go-to device of the future. The big screen is slowly dying as mobile continues to break records in virtually every category: time spent, downloads, and revenue. And people are looking at their phones, and we need to create digital media with that in mind. So kind of brings us to a question. Is this a positive? Interesting question to think about it. Is it a positive that we're looking at our phone all that much? Well, most people would probably say no. Again, I have a teenage daughter. I have two sons in college. But as educators and thinking about a digital media program, we're not really thinking about it. Is this a positive? Is this a positive or negative? Thinking about, okay, now where can we go and how can we teach this? Okay. And this is when we go into the digital media. Now, student engagement can be defined as the amount of attention, interest, curiosity, and positive emotional connections that students have when they're learning, whether in the classroom or on their own. We want students engaged. And engaged students have more motivation to participate in class, they enjoy achieving their learning goals, are more likely to persist through challenges in learning. They're intrinsically motivated to gain new and deeper understanding. And this comes from neuroscientist Dr. David Souza. We want students to be engaged. And we know they're engaged on their phones, but what are they looking at? They're looking at digital media. So instead of thinking it's such a negative thing, we need to start thinking of how can we be content creators? And that's bringing us, what does a digital media education program look like? We need to switch from users. We need to switch to the idea that all we do is use our phone. We need to switch the idea and think we want to be, instead of being users, to be creators and get students engaged at our higher level. How can we be the people and teach kids to be the creators of the graphics, creators of the video, creators of the social media content? Because as I just showed you, and we all know, smartphones are not going away, and we're going to keep looking at them. So yes, I complain that maybe I'm on my phone too much or my child's on my phone too much, but it's not going to change. Okay. So we have to embrace that and try to teach them better, but we're going to be part of it. And we want to think at a higher level. We all know Bloom's taxonomy. How can we create? That's the highest level of understanding and engagement, is creativity and evaluation. How can we create? Okay. And like this, a digital media education engages students to learn how to create content through video editing, production, audio editing and podcasting, graphic design, digital photography, web design, digital writing, live streaming, and social media. There are so many different areas and avenues of digital media that more likely you can't create just one. Okay. And I know in my school, I focus on video, but I'm lucky enough to have a teacher that does graphic design. Okay. Now there's a bunch of things I just listed down through here. Again, video editing. So you need to look at yourself and your school and your program of what you can do and what you can do really, really well, and go do those things well. Maybe it is graphic design and photography. Maybe it's web design, digital writing, live streaming, social media, okay, video editing, production. There's a lot of things out there. So guys, let's go create. Okay. So now you have in your mind that we want to create a digital media program in schools. And again, why? We talk to our administrations, because people are on their phones. So why do we need to create this? Why do we need to build these things? That's what your administrator is going to ask, because people are on their phones. Hold your phone up to them. Ask them the same thing I did. Go to your settings. Look at your app usage. You're consuming digital media hours on end. Okay? One of the best examples I always use is, I asked my superintendent and my principal one time, we talked about this, and I looked at them and I said, okay, and I'm going to it's going to sound harsh, but it's not. When I said, when was the last time that you ever bought a handcrafted, handmade piece of wooden furniture? They looked at me like, long time. Because, most people, we go to IKEA, we order online, right? We don't buy handcrafted. It's machine crafted, sadly, but that's the way it is. But since we all buy machine crafted, does that mean we're going to get rid of our woodworking classes? By all means, no. Those are some of the best classes we have. They're hands-on learning. They're creating to shape and create something on a wood that's something so beautiful. Okay. Well, the world has changed, and now we have digital media. So how can we create and shape and build things that we look on our phone for 4.5 hours a day? Okay, again, we're on our phones for over 4.5 hours a day. People are looking at digital media, at social media. So what can we do as teachers to build content creators? Well, here's a slide here. Now, these are the 5 most common areas of digital media: audio production, graphic design, animation, video production, and website management design. And what I have listed down here are some programs. Some cost money, like Audition. In my school, we are an Adobe school. So we use Adobe Audition. We use Adobe Photoshop. For video production, we use Premiere Pro. But there are also a lot of really free programs out there. Audacity, free. Photopia, free. Animation, I haven't found a whole lot, but I know there's some out there. Video productions, WeVideo is expanding their program. That's free. DaVinci Resolve is blowing up. That's free. And website, Wix and WordPress. Google site is so-so. We know that Wix and WordPress are so much better. You can do pay or you can do free. Now, so there's software out there for any school to use, whether you want to pay for it like Adobe, or do you want to go on the free side? And there's still some Mac programs, Final Cut Pro. But see, so software can't stop us. So when your administration says, well, what do you need? Well, I need software. Yes. But think about it. Okay, in your program, what do you want to create? Again, for me, I'm more on the video production side, and we do some audio production. So I really know Premiere Pro. Okay, I know a little bit about graphic design in Photoshop, but again, I have the advantage is I have a graphic design teacher in the school I teach at that she does that, and she's remarkable. But maybe your area is graphic design. Maybe that's what you want to focus on. So pick that and do that well. And I want to show some that.
Do you believe that you can walk on water? Do you believe that you can win this fight tonight? Do you believe that you can walk on water? Do you believe that you can win this fight tonight?
And then there we go. And we have some graphic projects. Now, these are some that my students did. And again, we're solid, not great. First we do a little video or a graphic for opposing teams that come in when they come and play in ours. We have graphic design boards in our school that video boards, which are becoming very, very popular. So we kind of create a graphic for each team. And a student did this one for Lincoln High. I thought it was really nice. Had the picture behind it and use the links. And then we had a lower third, and we kind of modified a lower third that we get. And then on the left one here is a graphic, and we're a Strive school. And we're not going to Strive. Strive is an incredible company, and we work with them. They're great to work with for streaming, and now we're trying to build Strive Education. Okay. Now Strive, we were given this graphic, and then our students said, hey, let's modify it. Let's make it our own. So we kind of modified, changed things on our own, and that's where both these came from. Again, we don't spend a lot of time on graphics. We do more in the videos, but that's some of the things that my students can do in the media production classes that I teach at. Okay. And again, so that's two areas, video productions and graphic projects. What's audio? We've had students, you can do podcasts, more graphics. Again, find the area of digital media that works for you and sell that, work with that. And next thing you'll add is your administration will ask you, okay, why? Again, because we want jobs. But what do they need? What skills do they have to have? Okay. This came from Dr. Deborah Murdoch. She had a list there of skills graduates needed in 2015. Then she updated it in 2020. And look, most times they're the same, but we added some new ones in there, emotional intelligence and cognitive flexibility to go along with, and they changed, the creativity went from 10 to 3. Critical thinking wasn't even in 2015, and now it's up to 2. Those are definite big areas of digital media. We have to be creative. Companies and jobs are looking for creative people who can think critically. Remember, to go back to our Bloom's taxonomy. We want to create. We want to be critical thinkers. We want to break things down. That's what digital media does. So when your principal asks, why do we need to create this program? Well, look at your phone. You're on it for 4.5 hours. What are you looking at? You're looking at digital media. So let's teach kids how to make this. Let's teach kids how to create. And according to Saffron Clacy in the website Make Use of and some of the best jobs in digital media to apply, here are some of the 9 best jobs in digital media that are blowing up. Social media manager, content strategist, digital media production, digital entrepreneur, digital journalism, social media specialist freelancer, community engagement promoter, content producer, marketing analyst. These are all areas in digital media. The marketing world, if you looked at the business plan, the marketing has changed. If you're not marketing to be on your smartphone, you're missing out. Okay, people spend time on their smartphone. Okay. Look up things called search engine optimization for website management and marketing. Okay. SEO. Okay. And that is, if you're not creating something that's on a website, you're going to get lost. Example, you have a plumbing business and you want to make a website. Okay. That's how you're going to get found. In the old days when we were growing up, we looked at the yellow pages. Now people find a plumber two ways. One, word of mouth, and two, a Google search. That's how they look it up. We know that. We nod our head and say, yeah, that's how I look up a plumber. Well, if you look up the Google search, you know what you're going to see? People are going to click on the first page. That's it, the first page. Very seldom they'll even go to the second page. There might be 10 pages of plumbers, but let's be honest. You only look at the first or second pages, and then you'll click on one and you'll find one and you'll start calling them. Okay? So as a plumber, I need to be on that first page. How do I do that? You talk to a digital media expert. You talk to a marketing analyzer. Okay. And you talk about a content strategist. How can I get there? That's search engine optimization. Okay. Social media manager. We spend hours on social media looking at graphics, looking at videos, looking at commercials. Who makes commercials? Video production, social media specialists, freelancers, content producers. Okay. I've had several students graduate from my program that their job is to create content on social media. They're getting tens of thousands of views on content that they've created and produced. Now, you can walk and say tens of thousands of views. You go to an advertiser and you put a logo on that one and make money. Okay? That's how it's working today on our smartphones. So again, we go back to why do we need to create a digital media program? We're on our phones. We're staring and creating digital media all the time. So we need to create. We need to teach students how to create. It's not funny movies. You know, TikToks are great. I love TikToks. But we're talking about making content for companies, making content for video boards. In our school, we have these video boards and we have different companies sponsor things, teaching students the skills on how to put a video together. We all know the different pre-production, production, and post-production skills. Okay. Now, how about how to create and run a social media site? Everybody has social media now. People are always on social media sites. Companies are there because that's where we find information at. We know the consumers on social media, so we need to be there. Who goes there? People who know how to run digital media. So what do you need to get started? First thing we got to build support. Of course, we start with administration, but it's important to build community support for this program. You need to teach people why this type of software is important. You know, the computers, you need the equipment, you need the software. So what that is, start thinking about what can you do and do well. Is it video production? Is it graphic design? Maybe you want to look at website management. And when you look at website management, that's not just coding. It's management. It's design. So now you're building support. You tell people why it's important. Okay. Why do we need to create video productions? It's not just to make fun videos, which are still fun. I love making those. But there's so many more opportunities. Once you have that support, then we have teacher training. Sadly, schools are not putting out teachers that teach digital media. There's no avenue for that. Okay. So that's what we're working with Strive right now in our Strive education curriculum. Shanda, myself, Taylor, we've created a curriculum out there that will help you get started. Because we know one of the worst things to have, one of the hardest things to have is thinking, where do I start? And I've been there. 10 years ago, I started and I thought, what am I supposed to do? So I reached out to a bunch of teachers and they were all broadcast journalism. And I thought to myself, I don't want to be a broadcast journalism teacher. I want to do something different. I want to be a content creator. I want to do marketing videos. I want to teach kids how to make commercials and make short little fun movies. And so we kind of had to create on our own. There's a lot more programs out there. There's a lot more training out there. And again, that's what Strive Education is here to help for. We've developed a curriculum to get you started, but also the flexibility to say, hey, what's your specialty? Let's focus on that. And we will help you with that. I'll work with you. I'll come to your school. I'll talk to you more. What can we do? And then once you have that, then start thinking, what's the direction I want my program to go in? Is it graphics? Is it video production? That's where you start buying the equipment. Do I need to buy cameras? Do I need to buy DSLR cameras? Do I need to buy video cameras? Do I need to buy microphones, podcast microphones? Yes, that's expensive, but there are a lot of grants out there to help get started. You just need to look at it and think, what do I need and what I need to get started? And wonderfully, there's a lot of great Stride teachers out there that can help with this because we've been there. We can help you out. Okay. Now, how will the program help your school? Again, we always like that. And of course, administration likes that too. Well, the first thing you do is you can tell them, I can help market programs. We can create advertisements. We can create promotional videos. Not just make a hype video for a basketball team. In our school, we have big video boards, right? Which we'll talk in a second. But let's make a commercial. Advertisements. Hey, let's make a promo video for the FFA program. Make a 20, 30 second, maybe short out 15-second promotional video. Let's make a couple of those for FFA. And let's put them out in August and September when kids are coming into the school and they want to join, or FCCLA. Or let's do a promo video just before we start rehearsals or auditions for the school play. Because why? We're on our phones. So let's make a video on our phones. Because we know, guess what? The kids, they're on Instagram. They're looking at Twitter. They're on their phones. So let's go to where our consumers are at. And to do that, that's digital media. We can market our programs. We can create advertisements. And consumers are looking for advertisements. So we're teaching kids a business skill that you don't even have to go to college for. You just need to learn how to create a good video. Another way, video screens. Like I said, in my school, we have tremendous big video boards. We have Score Vision boards. There's Daktronics also we've seen. We can create advertisements and creative videos on those. Right now in our school, we have about 20 full screen advertisements. The students in our program, we've made over 10 of them. We've gone to businesses and they've created advertisements and commercials for these businesses. What better learning to do is than get outside of the school and create some in the business world. That's real life consumer business, CTO, education. Okay. What better can you get than create advertisement in your business? And the businesses love it. They love supporting the school. Also, there's news and information. A lot of schools still do newscasts. They're great. They're good. You can push that information out there. You can make short videos, short graphics, and push out to the students. Okay? All of these things, you can help your school. So again, why do we need to create digital media? It's where we're at. Plain simple. Go back to what I first said. You're on your phone over 4 to 4.5 hours a day. Students even more. You're staring at a screen over 7 hours a day. This is a world that jobs are exploding all over the place. Just look up the amount of jobs in digital media that are coming. It's there. They're there. And that's what school is, to prepare students. So if this is a new market, why aren't schools in that market to teach kids? Okay. Again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in and listening. We're about 25 minutes now. Again, my name is Robb Goff. I teach at Kearney High School. You can get a hold of me at robbgoff@kearneycats.com. I would love to answer all your questions. Or you can follow us we're on Instagram, KHS Media Pro, Twitter, and Facebook, KHS High School or Kearney High School Media Productions. Again, thanks a lot for tuning in, and I wish you the best. And again, if you have any questions, let me know. If you've created your program, send me a message. We'd love to follow you guys and see what you're creating. All right. Have a nice day.